Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome to Top 11 2019 Beginner's Guide. This is not something I have done for a very long time and I thought it was worth going over again. I'm just going to go through review the basics of the game, what you need to know, what the tutorial lacks to tell you, and some just basic fundamentals to get you going and get you in the right direction. I won't really explain stuff in too much detail because I have so many videos explaining things in great detail. This is just an overview. If you're new around here and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe for more content. Alright, let's get to it. So what we have here as a new manager, we have the basic home layout and there's one challenge going on, we can see that, and we have one friend, Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho is your friend from the start and you're going to want to add more friends, guys. That's definitely something you're going to want to do, and you're just going to want to add every manager you meet in the game. Now obviously we can see our next match is always here. Regardless of what it is, friendly, FA Cup, Champions League, it'll always be here, okay? If you click on the versus sign, you can see the lineups, how they match up against each other, what formations people have ready to go, and you can see some general overview stats about the player. Because this manager's only level 1, I can't see his club history. But as you level up, you will start to see other managers' club history. You're going to want to add friends as well, because there's the assistant tab here. Now these treatments, morales, rest and skill boosts, these daily gifts, actually come from friends. It's not just a thing that happens. So you have to send it out to people and you have to receive it from people. That's why you just want to add everyone. Now your squads, you'll have players coming and going. The notifications are here, as well as your finances and your ground. So that's fairly self-explanatory. Now we'll go have a look at the squad. So this is our formation, and this is how we're going to change it and save things up for ourselves. Save things up for ourselves? That's how we're going to save our formation so we're ready for the next game. The players can just move back and forth between positions, quite simply, just dragged and dropped. And they can only be moved, or they should only be moved to play in positions that they have as a ability. If you want a player to play in multiple positions, that's something you're going to have to train. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Other than that, you can pretty much do what you want with the squad, any formation, it doesn't matter, as long as the roles are filled. There's also a thing called mentality, which controls whether the players are more offensive or defensive in their role. And you also have the ability to see the other opponent's squad, so you can line up against them. And your kick takers, you want to set a kick taker for each role. You've got corner kick takers, your penalty kick takers. That also goes down the middle here, so you have the next 4 players that take penalties. If the first one misses, that's good for finals. And your free kick takers and your captain. Your captain, I would just recommend picking a really good player or a goalkeeper. Your general tactics as well. There's going to be so many online. I've got a few videos with them. The general basic ones I like to tend to run is normal mentality. Attacking is only for when you're going to want to go like hard at someone, and remember to click the eyes, it explains what each one does for you. Focus passing is mixed normally, and a mixed passing style. So focus passing is where it's going to go on the pitch. Passing style is short or long balls. Short balls keep possession, long balls are more attacking. And forcing counter-attacks off, I normally go highest pressing style, and that is... See, these things come with caveats, and it's worth watching a more detailed video to explain it. But without this video being 40 minutes long, and I'm slightly ill, I don't want to be going into too much detail. If there's something you want to see, I can do that. Normal tackling style, easy. You're probably not going to get carded, but you're only going to want to do that against a weaker manager. Harder tackling. Man-to-man marking style rather than zonal, because you get a defense boost from it. And no offside trap unless you are confident it's working for you. So you can also come to the lineup screen and you get a good overview of the squad, how much they're costing, the wage for the year, the value of the player, their form, and what you need to improve and where you need to improve. So I can see right now I'd want to swap this defensive centre out. He's old and he's rubbish. So if we want to swap a player out, we need to transfer them. So let's go to transfers. As I've mentioned it, thank you, Jose. So the transfers come around in 3-minute windows. You don't have to buy someone here if you don't like it, just gotta wait a couple minutes. What's it best to do normally is sort by quality. Now, I said I wanted a defensive centre. There isn't a good one here, so I'll come back to this page in a minute. Scout, this is your premium players essentially. They're expensive. and they don't really get any younger than 22. If you want a younger player than 22, they have to come from a youth academy, or you have to buy them from the auction house or the negotiation house. These players are generally pretty solid, to be honest. And if you can afford the tokens, then I see no reason why not. Negotiations, not available as a new manager, but what negotiations will be is you can buy players off other managers, and they're normally pretty decent. And you can also sell your players as a manager. Assistant, the system recommends daily players based on your opponent coming up. They're all right normally. If you want to bid on a player, you have to do it as part of the tutorial. You just come in and you bid one of your available tokens. You can bid multiple times, so you can add 5. Just for the sake of this video, let's just get a new player. I want to go... no, we'll come back. I'll do it properly. So, players can be trained up as well. I mentioned you want to do different roles for the players. That's fine, or special abilities. So we can select our players like this. So if we want to select... Let's train our defenders, right? So we'll take the goalie and the 4 defenders. Oh, and any from the bench. I missed one as well. Jesus, sorry. Alright, there we go. We've got all our defenders. Now, we need to pick some drills. The best thing to do for this is a warm-up normally. Actually, if you click on the drill, it gives you a basic overview, so you can work it out. And if you go over to this second tab, it says here, like, a warm-up is always a great way to begin an intense training schedule, yada, yada, yada. So you want to start with some warm-up, realistically anyway. We've got defensive players, so we'll use Piggy in the middle, and then we'll cool down with a stretch, because if you go back to stretch again, it says stretching is an integral part of physical. This training session is a great way to begin and end a day of intense training, so we'll end on it as well. There's arguments on the forums and between managers as to whether you need to start with a warm-up and end with a stretch, or start with a warm-up and end with a video tutorial on what you've done. That's something you unlock later. It's all relative, it all depends on how well things work for you, and what is working for you, run with it is what I normally suggest. Just because I'm doing it in a video doesn't make it the rule. So once we're done with that, we're happy with that training session, we can just start the training session. And you can see what our players benefited from it. And you get bonuses. So the highest you can get is 10% on each. Normally you can get 10% each. If you're in a football association, you can get higher, but we'll come to that. If you like the training session, it worked well for you, just hit repeat training, and it will do the same thing, exactly the same thing again. Yep, start. And you can see our players are leveling up, and our bonuses are going up. Now, if you click off it and you think, oh no, I want to do that again, just come to reports. You can see what you've been doing, and you can redo it, or I can redo a different one. So this is one I did before for a striker, or strikers. But I did it for the whole team, I think. So there you go. Excellent. And all the training report shows is what went up and your new bonus, basically. So what players should you... Oh, you have a training level as well. So now I'm gone up to level 4, which unlocks more abilities. So when you go up a training level, quite good for the video, actually. That was good timing. When you unlock a training level, you can unlock a new drill, or you can level up a drill. Depending on what you're training and what you're doing, it depends on what drills to take. There's a lot of them, and there's like 93 training levels. I don't know why they stopped at 93, don't ask. So we'll just take the shooting one. And that's now unlocked, and we can now do that. And it gives us a drill description and how much it's going to take condition-wise. Now each player has a condition amount of up to 100%. You can see this in the physio center. So some of these players are tired, and they're down as low as 57%. When they get to 30%, anything below that, you won't be able to train them. The players will recover by 6% every time this occurs down here, this physio part. Or you can fully rest them here, and it will cost you 39 rests. I have a video on explaining which one is better than the other and why. It's too much to cover in this video. We're already 10 minutes in. Right, so if you want to just rest up a player, you can obviously click the plus and you can watch an advert to get it for free, or you can use one of your stored up rests. So we'll use one we've already got stored up. Now you can get 20 a day, and you can get 20 of the blue ones a day and some red ones as well. It's limited, so make sure you watch your adverts to get the rest if you want to make your life more comfortable. I promise you, I really do stress that. Now, if you want a player to have a special ability, let's pick one who hasn't got one. So Dennis, our striker, he can have a special ability. He can be a free kick specialist, corner specialist, one-on-one scorer, or penalty kick specialist. Once you're training these special skills, other normal stats won't go up. So we'll, just for the sake of this, one-on-one scorer. So we can't train a role and a special ability at the same time, either or. You can fully customize your whole squad if you want to match your favorite squad in real life. I'm a Spurs fan, they haven't got any Spurs logos and stuff, but you can buy like Liverpool, Borussia Dortmund, Real Madrid, etc. All the big squads. So each player has an overview. You can see their general weight, height, what foot they prefer. They have their skills. So your defenders and your strikers are going to have different attributes you want to focus on. The striker's obviously good shooting, good general strength and all-round player. If you want to get really into it, your centre backs, you're going to want bigger guys and better defensive better defensive skills, and a better strength level. It's just, you have to train appropriately to the player's position, basically. You can see the stats of the player, what they played this season, how well they've done in the Cup and the Champions League, as well as the League. If you don't want to train them up yourself because you think, oh man, that's long, why would I do that, Moise? Well, you can pay, but it gets expensive. So if you want the best player in the game, let's zoom this right up. 2,672 tokens. I think 500 tokens is like £90. So you do the maths on that. That's expensive. I have a video where I do it for free-ish. I think I trained into Superstar and then paid for it to Legend. You'd have to go check that out somewhere. It's in the most popular. Yeah. So players also have contracts. You can sell them at auction, sell now or renew. New managers, never sell now. You don't have the funds, always sell at auction. If you're going to sell the player, let's sell a cheap, rubbish one. Oh, we might not be able to sell one. I don't think we've got room. If you can sell one, always max out the starting price. You want the max bang for buck. The player goes up and is listed, and it will be in those 3-minute windows until the player finally gets sold for you. So it might be instant, it might take a while. So if you need the money quick, that's the only reason you quick sell. We need another player, so let's add that. Before I do though, quick training, you have easy, medium and hard. I wouldn't recommend it. Like if we do a medium one, for example, yeah, run. So it does the warm up, just the shooting techniques. It all goes up a little bit. And this was a good training session, but if we want a bigger bonus, we need to improve. And that's generally true. So I find that the ones it gives you aren't great and you can do it better yourself, basically. Right, let's move on to transfers again. Let's see if we can quickly buy someone now. We want that defensive. Oh, look at that. He's going to be expensive, I guarantee you. Let's put in some bids anyway. So we'll go up to 10. It's definitely going up there. And we'll come back to that in a minute. So you have your fixtures anyway. You'll be able to see all your games upcoming on Plan Ahead. There's only a few games left this season. If you're at home, you can change this here. You can change the starting time at the cost of 2 tokens. And you will also be able to see your friends if you have any and what matches they're playing. And you can watch their matches live if you want to support them. The league is quite simple. It's a standard league. It runs for a month in real life. You get promoted if you're in the top 8. And you get into the Champions League if you're in the blue. Super League if you're in the orange. You can see who's been doing what. You can see all the fixtures. You can watch the other managers play. And in the top right, you'll see the top scorers, top rated and top assist managers. Top assist players. Let's just quickly go back to our auction. We're still winning. We'll just make sure we win this. We'll see this one out. Sorry guys, if you've stayed this far, thank you so much. I got a massive sore throat. Just having a quick drink. So at the end of a season, you don't really want to be buying a player. And the reason for that is, at the end of a season, you lose a star as a manager. if you get promoted. Ugh, that was terrible, sorry. You don't want to buy a player at the end of a season, because in the next season, if you get promoted, the ability of them... Oh, wow, as if I got him. The ability of the other players around you and in the league increases, and your players will essentially lose a star. Now, this player is 98% now, but when I get promoted, he'll only be 80%. And the best way is to explain it in my eyes anyway. If you are Luton Town and you somehow get promoted to the Premier League, the Luton Town players are not going to be as good as the Chelsea players, even though you're in the same league. So, the Luton Town players have a lower rating at that level compared to the level below. If they were the best in the Championship, they're now the worst in the Premier League. And I hope that makes sense. Right, now we've won that player. Yay! We'll put him in our squad. God. So go to our squad. And we will add him in for our worst player. And we will save. Oh, I didn't touch on this. So yeah, you have squad setups. You can change the formation. If you want to change it, you just move the players around. So move him here, and then you just come over here, hit the folder, go to the new format, and click save. And that's it, you're done. If you don't, you just load the other one and back as you were. Our squad's now increased in value. You saw it just go up then. I don't remember what it was at the start of the video, but it's now up to 64. That's the average of your entire starting 11 anyway. What else we got? The Champions League. You don't get in it in the first season, I think. As a level 1 manager, it's just about the league. Yeah, so this is the winners from the other leagues and well, the top 4 finishers. If you get knocked out in the first sort of few rounds in the group stage, if you finish 3rd rather than the top 2, you'll go down into the Super League. You can still win that. And there's the cup as well. Everyone goes into this, and you have to try and work your way through. It's nice. It's pretty good, and you get a nice cash reward at the end. You can always see the top scorers and rated as well on the top right hand corner, and the rules are all up here as well if you ever want to know what the rules are. Events. Now there's one just standard event that runs most league seasons, and that is the top scorer challenge. You have to nominate yourself in. You have to enter it. Nominate yourself in. You have to enter the competition, guys. You get 10%. My brain. You get 30% and 10 rests if you win. It's just whoever has the top amount of goals of a single player at the end of a season. What they do is you have special events as well. So last year we had head-to-head challenge, taking on teams from Spain, taking on teams from England, a summer shootout challenge, a Halloween challenge. There's loads of different events, and it's all against the other managers, and it's all quite good fun. Now, associations. As soon as you're high enough level, you're going to want to join a football association. This is the best way to make free tokens in this game, no, without a shadow of a doubt. The Football Association League is running. It runs from bronze all the way up to platinum. Yeah, I want to say. Let's just check. It doesn't even show you when you can't qualify. And you get to speak to other managers as well, and it's the best thing for you to do as a new manager. I guarantee you that. Oh, it says when you reach club level 4. So your club levels up when you get promoted, basically, as well. So the quicker you get promoted, the quicker your level goes up. I don't remember what the max is, but I haven't reached it on my main account. On your club, you get a general overview. You can buy all sorts of swanky kits and badges to support your teams, and you get free ones all the time. It's worth keeping an eye on social media. If you keep an eye on my social media, I'll post it as well. So you can see how your team's done this season. The best thing you can do is win the triple. We haven't won anything on this account because it's brand new. You might wonder why I have games played. That's simply because when you start mid-season, you essentially take over a bot account that was playing for you. So I haven't played any games really. This is all just whatever that account was doing. And you can see an overview of your manager. You get achievements if you connect to your Google Play account. I don't know about Apple, if you connect to whatever that is. Then you get points for doing these things. There's a lot of hidden ones. You have to look them up online what they are. They're weird things like win a game without a striker. I think that's called part of the bus. Don't spit at the ref and get sent off, and kind of weird ones. Finances. This is a whole big subject. I've got a video on this. It's like 10 minutes long, so massively brief overview. You want the green income to be bigger than the red outgoings. Simple. You can see this season 590k incoming. So current balance is 5.22, and this is how we're making the money in the season. So this number is bigger than this number, generally good. Now you can have a sponsor for tokens. They call it TV rights. You're gonna want this one, OH2, when you can. You can't. I couldn't click it. The tutorial forced me to click the first one, stable income. This is the best one value. That's why you want that one. Click. Finances. Juice would be good for a new manager. I always went OH2 because I would forget to click it sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, but it is what it is. And well, you can't even get these to level up. That's the problem. And ticket prices. When you're at home, I'll be getting free monies. I don't know what to call it. I'll be getting free monies for my ticket price. As your stadium gets bigger and your club gets bigger, you can increase the ticket price. Simple as that. If you put the ticket price too high, no one will show up and you will lose money, as well as a support bonus. Champions League and the Cup is obviously for that. And FA is Football Association matches and general friendlies against other managers. Win bonus. This is the amount you would pay your players for winning the match for you. It's meant to help motivate them. It's not something I can prove. Tongue-tied, guys. It's not something I've ever proved it does. But if I'm going to use it, I always go big. Why not? It's not something I'd recommend again for a new manager. It's expensive. So we also have the ground. You're going to want to level up the stadium. So let's just level up this. It's expensive and it takes time. It does take time. But eventually it will be very big and you will have so much money. Ticket prices go up to like $100 a ticket, and a stadium can seat like 250,000. You have billions coming out of your wallet and you never run out. So the game, it's difficult early on, I remember that, and it's too much at the end, so it's not balanced that well. You have get off this. You have medical. If you upgrade that, it chucks out free medical, what do you want to call them, medical treatments every so often. Depends on what level you have it. And the youth squad also chucks out youth players. The higher that is, the better they are. And the youth squad players train quicker, and they are generally free, or one of them is, and the other one costs a bit of tokens for a bit of a boost. Community feed's a great place to keep an eye on everything that's going on. Top 11 posts a lot of great videos in here, and you can just watch them in the game, as well as keep an eye on the social media feedback and what they have going on. This is a great place to make sure you keep an eye on all the events and the upcoming stuff so you're aware. And finally, the club shop. So in the club shop, you can get the stuff you need to make your club look like your favorite place. So like I said before, if you like the big teams, obviously we have Real Madrid here, Borussia Dortmund. So that is what it is. These are the new premium shirts. I actually quite like some of these. I like this one. That one's sexy. I might get that on my main account. And yeah, if you ever actually get a redeem token, you come in here, you hit that redeem button there, and you put in the token voucher code here, and that will generally get you something free in game. That's a pretty in-detail overview of the whole thing without going too in-depth. I'm sorry if I've missed anything. I can't think of anything right now. It's quite a long video, 25 minutes. That's by far the longest video I've ever done. Just trying to think before we call it quits. No, I think that's it. If there's anything you want to see, I can redo all the tutorials and I can re-go over it all for 2019. But that's been it for this video. It was a long one. If you made it this far, big shout out, massive respect. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, it's been a pleasure, and I will see you in the next video.